Hey folks, so last week I mentioned my mishap with Valentine's Day and the feelings getting hurt, but I ended last week's email and our conversation with the fork in the road, the pain of discipline and doing what we need to do for our health, and the pain of regret. And I will be totally transparent and I'll be vulnerable with you guys. I have a lot of regrets. Obviously, Valentine's Day is one of them. However, a lot of regrets as far as allowing myself to become morbidly obese for several years. Some of you know, some of you may not know. I was getting really, really close to 400 pounds. And I'm not knocking anybody that's struggling with weight themselves. Um, what I guess bothered me as a healthcare professional, I was giving health advice and encouraging other people to be healthy when I was a hypocrite, when I struggled myself. And so changing my health has dramatically, um, given me encouragement to help other people, not to be dogmatic or to tear anybody down, but just to be a light, just to be an encouragement. And if you are needing encouragement, obviously reach out to us, message us, email us, however. Um, let's just say you've gone through the journey of restoring your health. I want to encourage you to be a light, be an encouragement for somebody else. Um, in the Bible, the we call them mat carriers, but where their four paralyzed friends carried down through the rooftop to Jesus, their paralyzed friend. And so sometimes we have to be those mat carriers for somebody else. And I want to encourage you to do that. Well, I mentioned the mishap, and so I want to redeem myself. So on our dating anniversary, which is far more important to me because she changed my whole world. Once again, mention that to her. I need the brownie points, obviously. Um, However, we were eating at El Maguey, the Mexican restaurant here in town, and we were sitting. It was during lunch, and I asked her a couple questions. I just was curious on how she felt on a couple deeper topics. And so the first was, and you guys may have heard this, and I would like comments below on what your answers would be. First was, if you could do anything and you not fail, what would you do? Right? So for Ellen and I, we had very similar answers. We are moving the practice and her massage school and everything and the massage um, over to a new location, a much larger location. It's been her dream to start our school, but it's also my dream to grow the practice and serve a larger population and serve as many people as we can. And eventually, maybe even have more chiropractors and pour into them and help them um, be successful as clinical doctors and helping serve them. I think there's a lot of fulfillment in seeing someone else achieve fulfillment and achieve success. And so I'm excited about that. That's, so we're both in that same boat where she wants to develop massage students and I want to develop other chiropractors and serve a larger population. So that was both of our answer for question one. And like I said, comment below. I want to know yours because that's important. The second question goes a little deeper. It goes from a achievement standpoint to a heart question. What would you do? What is a worthy cause or so worthy to you that you would continue to go after it or strive for it even if you fail? When I asked that question, instantly Ellen had tears in her eyes, and her answer was to be the best mom I can be. She said there's days where I fail and I don't do things right, which I don't think she ever fails. Once again, tell her that. But I mean that she doesn't ever fail. She may feel that she fails, but our boys and being there for them is so worth it, so valuable that even if we fail and even if we mess up, we're still every day going to try to be that for them, right? Or for her, be that for them. For me, obviously as a dad, I have the same answer, but I think it goes back to even further to my weight loss and my journey with my health, because my health has been so out of control and such a disarray because of my hypocritical behavior of not eating the foods that I was telling people that they should eat, or eat, or vice versa. I was eating foods that I was telling people not to eat. There you go. I needed a drastic change. I needed that Dunamis, right? That ability, that innate power that we all have, to change, to move forward. Um, that internal power. I don't mean to be preachy, but that's from God. That's our Holy Spirit within us. He gives us that power, and we have to hang on to that, and we have to move forward. And that's where we make those decisions, right? We have the pain of discipline and following and doing what we know is right versus the pain of regret. And of course, I have a lot of regret. But when it comes to the boys, it is so valuable, so worthy to continue to pursue the discipline, even though it's uncomfortable, because my boys need a present dad. They need a productive dad. They need a dad that they can follow in his footsteps. They need somebody that they want to be just like. And I'm sure there are people or kids or loved ones that are looking up to you. And so, like I said, I want to know your answers. I want to know answer to number one and number two. They don't have to be the same as ours or any of that. I like to know. I like to know you guys and what you guys are facing and struggling and what you are striving for. And so I hope this was helpful, and I look forward to seeing you next time.